670 WSTX.
Our wealth is our health. And in that context, I am so happy today that we have live in our studio for conversation folks to talk about the Free Diabetes Health and Wellness Fair that's coming up on Saturday, July 30th. You know, some of you kind of take these things for granted. Oh, it's free, it's just another thing or whatever. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Yes, it's free. But if you go to the doctor to check the very same thing you haven't done for free here, then you're going to pay. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. So this is something that is looking out for your interests, your wealth, in your health. So please spread the word. All right? You have questions you want to ask or whatever, he's going to be right here at your disposal. Sir, you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Just go ahead and introduce yourself to the community, and let's talk about this health and wellness fair.
Thank you so much for having me this morning. It's good to be here. My name is Ganesh Prasad. I'm the Executive Director for the Virgin Islands Diabetes Center of Excellence. We're actually a nonprofit organization, and our real focus and goal is to really help to reduce the morbidity and the prevalence of diabetes here in the Virgin Islands. Part of the reason why we started this organization was because we do have a high prevalence of diabetes here in the VI. Most recent research suggests that we have close to around 17% of a population that has diabetes. And, we suspect that that's even more because a lot of people that do have diabetes don't know they have it. So we really are focusing on diabetes specifically. There are a lot of different causes for diabetes. Some of them include, diet, lack of exercise, weight. So there is an opportunity to help prevent diabetes, and that's really the focus of the center. We also would like to, of course, thank the governor, Governor Brian, for helping us with this endeavor. He feels very strongly about diabetes as well. And I think from our perspective and from a leadership perspective, we really don't want people to have to leave the Virgin Islands for this type of information. We want to be able to provide it here and try to have it here locally, and have people try to come to the center to be able to get and access these services. We are having a health fair actually on July 30th, as you mentioned, to help kick off the center and also try to give the public a general taste of some of the types of services that we hope to offer at the center. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, diabetes is a silent epidemic. Not many people know they have it. There are a lot of signs and symptoms. And, the fair is really geared towards helping to screen individuals that may not know they have diabetes, some people that might be pre-diabetic, or people that do have diabetes. We really want to be able to talk with you and interact with you and try to connect you with the appropriate services. As we said, there are a lot of different organizations that actually, primary care providers and other providers that actually help to manage diabetes. But the center here really is trying to take a multidisciplinary and holistic approach to care. We really are focusing on the prevention side, and of course screening. So if you don't know you have diabetes, we want to make sure that you're aware of your diabetes status. So at the fair, we have a whole lot of things going on. As we mentioned earlier, it's free. It's on July 30th. We'll be having rapid A1c testing, which will allow us to kind of get an idea of your blood sugar levels. And try to help us determine your overall diabetes status. We also are privileged to be able to partner with many different specialists on island to be able to have them come to the fair. So we have a podiatrist who's going to be looking at your feet. We have ophthalmologists who'll be looking at your eye. We also have an endocrinologist who will be looking at the blood work. We also have several diabetes specialists who will be there to help answer questions that you might have about diabetes. We also have pharmacists there to be able to talk to you about medication and how to manage your medication and diabetes. And we also will have a couple of nutritionists. The nutritionists, of course, will be discussing how best to, deal with your diet and proportions and so forth. So we really hope that the public takes advantage of this opportunity. We really try to bring, as we said, a lot of different specialists under one roof so that you can come in, get your diabetes status known, and be able to see specialists at the same time. The fair also is going to have food. We're also going to have some play centers for children. There's also going to be goodie bags for all those that attend. There's also going to be giveaways, and we hope that everyone has a good time. I mean, we certainly want to make sure that, while you're having a good time, that you are here to understand more about diabetes and ask as many questions as you have, because we have a lot of specialists there under one roof, and we hope that you take advantage of it.
Let's talk about who this is for, right? This health fair is for adults and children with diabetes, pre-diabetes, persons with a family history of diabetes, and persons at risk of diabetes. You may be overweight, have high blood pressure, you live in a sedentary life, they're on the couch watching CNN all day and not walking about and getting some exercise. All right? Now, the last two, starting with family history. If somebody in your family had diabetes, there's a high chance that there's a genetic link or otherwise a health link that makes it more probable. And I don't want to sound like I'm the expert and doctor here, but it just is that much more likely that it may show up for you or maybe your offspring. So it's something that you want to learn more about and be prepared to deal with. Like any other health issue that has a history in your family, you need to know. Now, the other side now, you have those folks out there who just feel like if they could take a pill, they would sit on the couch all day. That's how they would get an exercise. Have an exercise pill. I take the pill and just like walk around the block a couple of times. It don't work that way. Okay? It does not work that way. Get up off the couch and come out to this free diabetes health and wellness fair. Okay? So, sir, we're here talking about the Virgin Islands Diabetes Center of Excellence.
Yes.
Okay? So now, for people like me who have to use GPS to find out the local street names and everything else here, because I just grew up in a place knowing my way around. Where is the center?
Fantastic, and I'm glad you asked that. So the actual fair was going to be held at UVI, right there by the medical simulation ground. So basically, as you come into UVI, the building on your left. So that's where the fair is going to be held. But the actual center where we're going to be having regular services is actually located in Princess. If many of you are familiar with Food Town, we're right next door to Food Town and Princess, on the second floor of the Princess Health Center. Many of you may know Dr. Prasad. We're right above his office there on the second floor. So Princess, right next to Food Town on the second floor.
Equally important, if someone can't make it there for whatever reason, how can they get in touch with us?
I'm glad that you brought that up. You can reach us, of course, on our mobile phone or our local phone, which is 340-208-0260. Once again, that's 340-208-0260. We also have our website, which is www.vidcoe.org.
Fantastic. Okay, so folks, you ain't got no excuse. You got the free fair, you go and get your goodie bag and know that child you're tempted to call disgusting, they're going to have some place there for them to play and meet other children and have a good time in the time. Okay, but they ain't disgusting. They're a gift, a treasure. Don't think of them as disgusting. As soon as they gone away to college, you're there them and everything else. Okay? All right? But definitely, this is fun. When I heard you say that they're going to have a little kind of activity center for children.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
You know, this is what we always need, because while you're there trying to take care of your business,
Correct.
Daddy,
Absolutely. And you know, we really want to try to make this a family kind of event where, you know, everyone is coming to support each other, and you know, we really want to make sure that, you know, as we said, we're not there's no ulterior motive to this except for the fact that we want people to take control of their health. And working in a primary care setting, we often see a lot of patients that come in with uncontrolled diabetes, and we wish that we had really tried to intercept it a little sooner. We don't believe in medication unless it's required, but if we can make the lifestyle changes prior to being able to, when you're pre-diabetic or if you have a family history, we're hoping to prevent people from developing complications associated with diabetes. As you know, people that have uncontrolled diabetes, there's a whole lot of issues, right? The main one, of course, is kidney issues, kidney failure, where you're going to have to go in for dialysis. And you also have people that have foot problems, amputations, you have nerve issues, you can't feel things, you got blurry vision, you might develop blisters on the body. As I always tell everybody, diabetes is not just, it's a systemic disease. And everybody that has worked in the leadership here at the center has had a personal experience with diabetes, and we feel very passionately about the subject. And we really hope that through these efforts that we can help to identify individuals and then put them on a care plan to help them with either preventing it, giving them all the tools that they need to be able to eat right, exercise, and train and talk about different aspects of diabetes. But if you have it, how can we deal with it? How can we check your blood glucose regularly? So there's a lot of different things that we hope to do at the center, and I'd be happy to discuss it throughout the show.
All right, fantastic. Well, let's talk a little bit about the services that are going to be there. I see that you have a list of services here. Starting off with the Live Your Best Life with Diabetes classes.
That's right. Absolutely. And I think you said something here that was very important. And these services, if someone was supposed to go out by themselves and do it, there would be a cost associated with it. When you talk about you have a specialist, you have an ophthalmologist, you have a podiatrist, you have an endocrinologist, you have all these specialists here under one roof. Why not take advantage of it and try and come out and take advantage? As we mentioned earlier, we hope that through some of our classes, we have very short 5 to 10 minute classes to help talk to you about diabetes. They're going to be led by diabetes educators. We have tried to find some really good people that have joined our team. You can visit our website to learn more about our team and their bios, but everybody that we've recruited has a specialty in diabetes somehow. Whether it's the nutritionist, whether it's the pharmacist, whether it's the provider. And we actually have taken this a little step, we've taken this a little further in the sense that we've made most of our providers go through a training to become Caribbean certified. Meaning that they have to understand the local context, understand the foods that we eat, and be able to provide advice in the local context, And sometimes, although most of our providers have been living here for many, 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 many years, it's always good to be able to go back in and ensure that you understand how to, to communicate. So we really have tried our best to invest in our people. Secondly, of course, we're going to have these rapid A1c tests. And it's a simple, prick on your finger, and that small prick will tell us a lot about your diabetes status. It'll give you a range, and if you're within that range, or you're below that range, or you're above that range, the nurses there will have a great idea of what your blood glucose level will be then and there, and that's a 5-minute quick test. We're also going to do blood pressure screenings. There's also going to, as I mentioned to you, an eye doctor and foot doctor. If you have diabetes or you're pre-diabetic, we certainly want you to take a look at your feet and your eyes. Anybody that has diabetes, in fact, there needs to be a managed care plan for every individual with diabetes. What does that mean? Not everybody is the same. We hope that the plan that we are offering you is not going to be the same. We're going to tailor to everybody. However, anybody with diabetes needs to have the following done every year. You need to go see your primary care doctor at least once a year, minimum. You need to have your A1c checked every 3 months. So that will give you a good idea of your blood sugar level. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Are you doing the right thing? Do we need to change up, our approach? Secondly, you also need to go see an ophthalmologist or an optometrist once a year to do an eye exam. What they will do is they'll drop some solutions in your eye, they will dilate your eye and check it to make sure there's no damage to the eye. Because at some point with diabetes, as everybody knows, it does damage your eyes. You also want to see a podiatrist, because oftentimes, sometimes when, the first clues of diabetes often come out in your feet. But more likely than not, you'll be experiencing several symptoms, which include you feeling very thirsty, you're urinating very frequently, you're feeling tired. So those are some of the other symptoms that most people have when they do have diabetes. But if it's uncontrolled, you'll start to feel sometimes tingling in your feet, tingling in your arms and your fingers. And so seeing a foot doctor if you do have any issues with the feet is extremely important. And finally, people don't think is important, but oral health is extremely important with diabetes as well. So seeing a dentist at least once a year is highly recommended. So we want to be able to make sure that anybody that does have diabetes has access to these services, and we want to make sure that we're helping you through that process. I always tell everybody that diabetes isn't a diagnosis that means that everything is over or life is going to end. No, you can really manage it. And to be able to give everyone the resources to be able to do that, that's what we're hoping to do. And as I said, we're a big proponent on lifestyle interventions. Exercise, reduce your weight, eat right. You may have your occasional celery juice, neem tea. My mom drinks neem tea every day, I'm not saying don't drink it, but I'm just saying that, there's a place and time for, alternative health as well. But at the center, we really are trying to focus on lifestyle changes to help you manage or get you out of becoming diabetic.
Fantastic. Folks, this is your opportunity. Free Diabetes Health and Wellness Fair is going to be at UVI. So I'm going to give you the parting words as we come to the end of the interview here today.
Okay, well, we really wanted to say we really appreciate everybody's time to be able to come out. We really, hope that everyone takes advantage of this. And as we said, it's going to be July 30th at the UVI, at UVI, at the Medical Simulation Center. If you want to have more information or you need to find out more information, you can call us at 340-208-0260. Once again, 340-208-0260. You can also visit us online at www.vidcoe.org. Once again, www.vidcoe.org. Thank you.
Hopefully on the 30th, I'll see you there. Somebody could say, yeah, I saw you there. You say you're going to be there. I saw you there. And it'll be another opportunity for some of us to catch up. This COVID thing has gotten us so that I kind of missing walking downtown. And no matter how many times I dodge this way or that, somebody, oh yeah, man, you were talking about this or that. Well, remember we were talking about diabetes and it's free diabetes health and wellness fair, and hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you much for coming in.
Appreciate it.
All right, good.
Excellent.
All right, folks.